This question is asking us to work with probability, and it's telling us some information. The spinner can either land on green or red, so there's only two possible outcomes. It's telling us that green is 0.7, so if there's only two possible outcomes, they're mutually exclusive, can't happen at the same time. So if one's 0.7, then the other must be 0.3, because all probabilities have to add up to 1 in those circumstances. So let's have a look. It wants us to complete the tree diagram. So they've already told us that's 0.7, so that will have to be 0.3. Because they're independent, the first spin doesn't affect the second spin. There's nothing in here that tells us that. Then the probabilities will remain the same. Green will be 0.7 and red will be 0.3. Green will be 0.7 and red will be 0.3. So those are the probabilities filled in for the tree diagram. What I recommend you do all the time then is, once you get to the end of a tree diagram, fill in the probabilities of getting each possible end outcome. Usually these questions lead on to something, and then you've already kind of done the answer in a sense, but it's a habit, and if you get into the habit, it makes the questions more accessible. So here we'd be saying the probability of green and green, which would be 0.7 times 0.7, so 0.49. Here we'd be saying that we came along, got a green the first time, got a red the second time, so that would be green and red. And we'd be doing 0.7 times 0.3, which would give us 0.21. If we get to the end of this one, we got a red the first time, a green the second time, so that will be the probability of red and green, and that's going to be 0.3 times 0.7, so 0.21. And coming down here, we got a red the first time and we got a red the second time, so it's the probability of a red and a red. So 0.3 times 0.3, which gives you an answer of 0.09. Quick check, 0.21 is 0.42, add that to that makes 0.91, add that to that 1. So all these probabilities add up to the 1 you'd expect, 100%, all the possible outcomes considered. Now let's look at what the actual question wanted for the last part. It says work out the probability that a spinner lands on two different colours. Well, the two different colours, green and green doesn't count, because that's the same colour. Green and red would count, that's two different colours. Red and green would also count, because that's two different colours, but red and red wouldn't, because they're the same colour. So basically they're saying to us in the question that we need to take these two probabilities, and because that one or that one counts, then we can add the probabilities together. So basically this question is saying 0.21 plus 0.21, which were the probabilities of getting two different colours, added together because either of them counted. So that was the or situation, was basically saying that one or that one, which means we add the probabilities. So the answer will be 0.42. So that's a quick summary of how to fill in a tree diagram. A habit to get into is fill the end in to work out the probabilities of coming along each of the branches, and then usually be using those in the rest of the answer. Okay. Tree diagrams and probability, guys. Not too bad. Practice them and they should be